What's up, guys? Cheating the System 21 here with another episode of Remembering Battlefield Bad Company 2. And going from last week's episode, the M416, which was one of my favorite assault weapons, now we have the F2000. And, well, I'd be lying to you if I told you it was one of my favorite assault weapons. It definitely is not. So, yeah, going from one of my favorite to one of my least favorite by far. Now, this being said, I remember the F2000 being much better than what it is in this gameplay. I'm not saying I'm doing worse at the game, of course that's not the case. But I remember it being slightly more powerful. It could have been patched in the amplitude of time that I haven't spent playing this game. So, that being said, I mean, in Bad Company 2, from what I'm seeing, better at medium to longer ranges than I would have hoped. Let's see what I'm looking at. So we're using the F2000, of course, with MP412 Rex, great close range finishing weapon. 40mm shotgun, which in unfortunate events I actually found it was more reliable than the F2000 itself in closer ranges. Red dot just for some more precise aiming, and the Magnum ammo, of course, because if you're not using Magnum ammo, you're an idiot. Now, of course, just getting as much extra power out of this weapon as I possibly can. It doesn't take too much brain power to realize that with a higher fire rate you're going to be doing less damage per shot, but more damage overall in a damage per second type. So as you can see here, this kind of range is what I was sticking to. This medium to long range, a moderate sort of range, is what I was finding most success with, which is kind of surprising. In shorter ranges, I really wasn't having a whole hell of a lot of success with this gun, this weapon, apologies. Even though it's designed for those specific things. The higher fire rate here really just describes the fact that if you miss much of your clip, you're going to have to spend the rest of it on target or you're out of luck. See, as you can see here, even with a damaged enemy, it still takes most of the clip to take them out. And again, here going all the way down to 0, finishing that clip just so fast. Now, in Battlefield 3, the things are a little bit different. Now, of course, I'm going with the red dot sight. No primary weapon. Unfortunately, there's no underslung, so I'm just going to have to use M320 Buck by itself. MP412 Rex, heavy barrel, which is the only way to compensate for extra damage like Magnum ammo, and we're going for the squad frag just to give me a couple extra M320s. Now, what I noticed in Battlefield 3 is that you're definitely going to be dropping enemies much faster, not just because the game has less damage or more damage, whatever you want to call it, but I felt that the weapon itself was just more effective on the battlefield, especially in these closer ranges like this. It would have taken me half a clip, and don't even think about getting multiple enemies with a single clip in Bad Company 2. This right here is just an example of how you can actually finish off multiple enemies with the clip despite the extremely high fire rate of the F2000. That's something I wouldn't have dreamed of while playing it with it in Bad Company 2. So it's safe to say that I definitely like the weapon more in Battlefield 3. Definitely not necessarily as reliable in longer ranges as it is in Bad Company, however, with a lot of side-to-side recoil. Though taking out multiple enemies is a possibility, you will still ruin your clip very, very quickly, so pulling out your pistol is going to be a necessity. That's why having something high-powered like the Magnum there, but I mean, at shorter ranges like this, you can just see, you just rip through people as fast as you possibly can. Obviously, one of the most damaging weapons per second in its closer ranges, and that heavy barrel just keeps you on range for keeps you on damage for those longer ranges. This is one of my favorite clips here, hopping over the fence like a boss, and basically just wiping out the enemy squad as I flank around here. But yeah, like I said, you're really not going to be taking out more than 1 to 2 targets, and I'm trying to test out the range of the F2000 here, but with suppression, with how fast the fire rate is, and with how little damage, and obviously the heavy barrel being adding some extra recoil, you're really not going to want to use this as a long-range weapon, and if you do, you're going to probably, your best bet's to change to the semi-automatic mode, and even then, you'd be better off with basically any other assault rifle. So, again, using it at even a medium range is kind of difficult, but as you can see, this enemy comes closer and has absolutely no chance, except for the grenade. That's my bad, guys. So, yeah, so as for similarities, differences, obviously this is kind of what I'd like to consider a battlefield moment here. I'm not getting a whole hell of a lot of kills, but I am doing some suppressive damage to the enemy, and I feel like that is kind of a good use of this weapon as well, especially if you're at a longer range. You can definitely rain down a hell of a lot of suppression. The M320 buck is awesome as always. Always great to have there, especially when you're not done a reload on your freaking crazy reload gun. Yeah, both in the Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, it has a significantly long reload, significantly shorter in Battlefield 3, of course, but definitely still a bit of an inconvenience, especially considering how fast you're going to be wasting your clip. That being said, if you have enemies that like to line up in a medium range, you will pull off triples like this, and God, is it awesome when it happens. Leave a comment letting me know which gun you want me to do next. Thanks to the following users for recommending the F2000. And I have been Cheating the System 21. Feel free to check out my channel for other Battlefield and non-Battlefield related content. This has been Cheating the System 21, and I'm out.